time you saw us, we were in the historic town of Harrisburg, and yesterday we drove about an hour southwest of there to Gettysburg. Today we are up early-ish and heading out into Gettysburg to first of all get some coffee and breakfast, and then we're going to explore some of the historic battlefields. So let's go see what we can find. So we are currently sitting in the parking lot of the visitor center. We just went into the visitor center and got our little passport book stamped, and we also bought 2 sheets of the national parks stamps because they have one.
Because they're stamps and they're different.
Yes, there's a stamp with today's date, and then you stamp it yourself, and then there's stamps that are actually stickers. And they have one for Gettysburg, but then they also have one for Eisenhower National Historic Site, which we're also going to go to, which I'm guessing doesn't have its own visitor center. So we got both sheets, and Tim's very excited to stick them on right now. But we are now heading out to do the auto tour. There's a self-guided auto tour you can do by yourself.
Put out by the National Park Service.
Where you drive around in your own vehicle with the app downloaded, and it basically either, I don't know if it's like
it's an audio narration, yeah.
I don't know if it's like the thing we had before called Just Ahead, where it used GPS.
It is.
Apparently it is. So it uses GPS to know where you are and tell you what you're coming up to, and if you want to stop, and you can do these things. So we're going to do that rather than going on a bus, because there was a lot of children here. I guess it's a good school trip place to go to, and there was many a child. So we're just going to do the self-guided one. So
let's go.
We have to sit here and listen to the first one at the visitor center and then head out. So let's go.
After I put my stamps in.
Tim's got to do all his stamps first. Don't mess it up.
Like you did on ours already?
Looks a bit crooked.
No, I didn't. That's pretty damn good right there.
We just stopped and had some lunch at Dobbin House. It was built in 1776 and then used during the Civil War to help slaves escape. We had lunch downstairs in the tavern/courtyard, which was styled like an old English pub tavern. Don't know why it was said courtyard, because it was all underground. But I had a bacon blue cheeseburger, and Tim had a beef dip. And the food was good. The service was slow
AF.
So we ended up there a lot longer than we intended. So
now we're whizzing through the rest of the sites at the Gettysburg Military Park, historic military park, so we can get home to Mr. Loki, who's waiting for us patiently at the RV.
Let's go. Well, as you can probably guess from the fact that we are sitting in the RV, we have ended our day from Gettysburg.
We finished touring the Gettysburg National Military Park. It was a good day. It was long, longer than we expected it to be. We ended up doing the National Park Service audio guide that they publish. It's a big park. First off, I don't think we mentioned that. It's not a walkable, like, just get out of your car, park it, walk around a park for hours like a lot of the other national parks and stuff that we've done. This is more a get in your car and drive and listen to different things happening. Loki's being cute. Listen to different things about what happened in the past and during the Battle of Gettysburg particularly. So it was a lot of fun.
It was a bit info dumpy. The narrator just like tells you a lot of names and stuff like that. He also uses like visual cues, so he's like behind me, but it's an audio tour, so you don't really know where he is. There is, I guess, a video part to it you can watch, which might be better to download and watch that because you can't really tell exactly where he is, but you get the gist of it, and that's enough.
And there was a lot to see and do. And like I said, it was informative and a lot of fun. I grew up in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware area, tri-state area, and I don't recall if I've ever been to Gettysburg when I was younger, particularly as a student, but I learned a lot today just walking around, so it was very informative.
And I learned a lot as a foreigner, because I don't know if this is the case for most people who aren't from America, I, in my head, didn't realize that when the Civil War happened, it was mostly the eastern side of America. So like from like the Mississippi west wasn't even like mostly part of the country and wasn't involved in any of it. So when I discovered that the Confederates actually made it into Pennsylvania, I was like, wow, they got way up there. I always assumed that most of the fighting took place in the South, but it did not. So that was cool to learn.
Yeah. So, and the lunch we had was actually really good at the tavern, the Dobbin House Tavern, that was built in 1776. So that was really cool. There's actually also in there a little museum. It's not really a museum. It's a couple of rooms, but it was pretty cool walking around in there. There was a slave hideout, so apparently they were part of the Underground Railroad at some point, bringing slaves north and freeing them. So again, all of that was really cool. Did take a lot longer than I thought. The audio tour, and 2 stops were closed today for work that they're doing. But the audio tour is 16 stops total, and we did 14 of them, and then also went to Eisenhower National Historic Site, I think it was called. We were only there a few minutes. We basically did it because we got our passport stamp, but it was dead. There was nobody else around. There didn't look to be much to do. It was a dirt road leading back there. It was cool that, that was the site that he stayed at and all, but there wasn't really anything to do there. So we were only there for a few minutes. But other than that, we had a good day.
Yep. And now we are heading out of Pennsylvania. Tomorrow we leave the state and drive into Ohio, where tomorrow we'll be camping at Lake Genesee for...
Genesee Lake.
Whatever. Genesee Lake. Tomorrow we'll be camping at Genesee Lake for 2 nights. And then after that we go to Illinois, where we're meeting up with some friends, but we probably won't film anything for that. So the next time you're going to see us, we're going to be in South Dakota because we're going to Badlands.
Well, we've got a few stops between now and then, so
we'll see.
We'll see.
But
tomorrow, Mayo, we're going to Ohio. Let's go.
Well, I guess that's a way to end the video.